Hello, everybody. We are back with another episode of Esthetician Edit, and today we're doing a trade show talk with Jen Sugermeyer from Atta Cosmetics. She was at the Dallas show this year and last year, so she's going to talk to us about her brand, what makes it unique, the products, and also to her experience at the shows. So, if you don't mind, I guess just starting off with like introducing your brand and what your brand's philosophy is.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I have had such an amazing experience. I know we're going to get into this, but with the International Congress of Aesthetics and Spa. So I will just start there. And everyone that attends these shows are so incredible. And so Atta Cosmetics, we wanted to create a brand with tangible products and an intangible message. So at its core, Atta actually stands for attitude, thoughts, and actions. And those are the three things that you control. And when you focus on those and let everything else go, that's when you get in the driver's seat of your life. I learned that on my sobriety journey. I'm 7 years sober, and I took a lot of time doing personal development. And I came out, and those three words just really resonated. So, wanted to create a brand around an intangible message so that in the morning and in the night, when you do your skincare routine, that you become intentional about your life. And so that at the core is what Atta Cosmetics is all about. And we began with the applicator. You want me to get
Yes,
into
go
this?
ahead. I'm loving it.
Okay. Yeah, so it was a little unintentionally that I had designed the applicator. And so I will share this with you here. We have this in both stainless steel and in jade. And I was doing my makeup with a spoon one day. I saw someone on Instagram doing this. And so I did it. And I thought, well, that's really amazing. And what I realized is that it felt good, but I was doing all these really amazing things for my skin. I was kind of getting the benefit of a gua sha and jade roller, but it was a spoon. And I thought, well, what if I designed something that sort of combined this jade roller gua sha and cryo globe concept with something that looked more like a spoon, something where we could apply and it be functional. So we created the applicator, and this is effectively this replaces brushes, sponges, fingers, cryo globes, jade rollers, and gua shas all in one. So I apply my makeup and my skincare with this product. And the intent is really to get our fingers off of our skin, just get all of this bacteria that's in our products. And so we launched with that message. And what we found is that estheticians really started to love the product and incorporate it into their services. So I'll take a pause there to see if you have any questions, or I'm happy to just keep going and telling you how estheticians love using it.
Well, I didn't know that you could use it for makeup. I think that's very unique, and I've never seen that before. I love how you touched upon being intentional with your skincare because I feel like these days, we have like 10 steps, then we just slap everything on. But I feel like your skincare can be an opportunity for self-care. So I guess if you can talk a bit about, yeah, how you can use it at home and be
Yeah.
intentional with the product, and then how estheticians can use it in the treatment room.
Yeah. And I as I was getting closer to 40, I started getting, cystic acne and hormonal acne, and I was just breaking out. And I've always had really beautiful skin. And although confidence comes from the inside, when you have things on your face that you're not comfortable with, sometimes you hold back. And I remember being in conference rooms leading people, in corporate America, and I would situate myself where my acne breakout was where people couldn't see it, or I'd put my hair over it. And so I do think that our skin is very reflective. It can absolutely impact our confidence. And so we want to be intentional, especially as we're starting to age. If we, I find a lot of the disconnect between people is that they feel, you start to get to be 40 and 50 and you feel awesome inside, but then you look in the mirror and sometimes it doesn't feel like they match. And so if you want them to match, then there needs to be some intentionality. And the good news is that as we know with regenerative, just health that we can regenerate a lot of our skin cells and we can trigger, the hyaluronic acid production internally and the collagen stimulation. But we have to be intentional about it. So it's the products that we use, and it's also how we use the products. And so this product here, I start every morning. I take this one, which is in stainless steel. And I take it out of the refrigerator, or excuse me, out of the freezer, and I apply my skincare with it. So I'll take my serums and I'll put little drops. You can put it onto the applicator, you can put it right onto your skin, and I'll just apply it on. And you use a fraction of the amount of product because it's not getting all over your fingers. And I mean, the amount you save with foundation is unbelievable if you are accustomed to using sponges or brushes. But I apply all my skincare and I'll just sit here and I'll take a moment and really get into the nasal labial folds. And when you have a nice glidable serum, then I really just get under here to, depuff under the eyes and just get those fluids moving. So as you're doing that, you're actually stimulating that collagen production. You're able to drain your lymphatic system. And because of the ergonomic design, you can really get into the curves of your face. This thing, I have yet to find a place on the body where this thing can't go. It really is very intentionally designed to get everywhere. So you can do a proper lymphatic drainage and sculpt and really get into the fascia and break up anything that's, maybe a little crunchy in your face. So you can have that nice sculpted jaw look. So everything that you see on my face between my lotions, my creams, my serums, my contour, my concealer, my foundation, my blush,
Mhm.
those were all put on with this tool. So that's how you can incorporate this. Get rid of the idea that brushes, sponges, or fingers should be or could be or should be on your face, and start to think about how you can actually enhance your skin and expect more from your applicator. So that's how you incorporate it at home. And estheticians started using it as part of their facial. So the weight, especially of the stainless steel, it is perfectly weighted balanced so that you can literally just put this on the skin and you're able to just really glide it across. And when you get the right movements, you're able to do that lymphatic drainage so you can apply products to your clients. And if you just imagine, I mean, just go grab a spoon right now and put it on your face and just see how nice that feels. And that's effectively what this will feel like. um, and and so you can get that lymphatic drainage. If you want to go deeper and get into the fascia, you can just press a little bit. And so it's applying products. We have massage therapists that have said this has saved their back because of the weight of it. They're not having to put so much of their body into the client. They're able to preserve their wrists, their lower back, and their legs, and they don't have to contort and do as much because this tool will move in your hand. This is an extension of your hand. And so I continue to learn about all the ways people use it in the office, because it's so versatile. But pressure points, facials, post treatment, you put this, after a laser treatment or any kind of ablative treatment, this is the nicest thing that you could give to your client. It just feels like, oh, thank you. I just went through all of that and now you can calm my skin down. So that's at home and in the office, and a great take home as well.
Yeah, I feel like that also solves the problem of like having to clean your makeup brushes. Yeah,
It
because
does.
it's just one thing that you would have to clean. And
Yeah.
I love things that are contribute to like a more minimal lifestyle,
Yeah.
where you don't have to have a lot of things. So that's great too.
Yeah. I have this conversation with people all the time. And back in 2019, there was a study that was done in the UK on the beauty blenders and sponges. And 75 to 91% of beauty blenders have harmful bacteria, and 57% have fungus. And if you think about it, we're putting these on our face day after day. And I share this statistic with people, and they go, yeah, I believe it. and they don't do anything about it. And I'll be honest, I was one of those people because the sponge, when it's full, it doesn't soak up,
Uh-huh.
right? So you're not wasting as much product. So that was sort of my rationale. I was like, oh, it's got the right amount of stuff in there that it's not soaking up anything. And, you know, but then it's just a breeding ground for bacteria. So, people, especially if you have acne prone skin or prone to eczema or psoriasis or rosacea or any challenges that your skin might be prone to, if you're putting bacteria and fungus and all the germs that are under your nails and in the pores and all the oils, if you're putting that on your skin, you're very likely going to trigger a breakout, and you don't have to. This is much cleaner. It takes 10 seconds to clean. You don't have to wait for it like to dry. You just wipe it off. It's done. So much more hygienic and definitely minimalist.
And I know you also have some other products. If you don't mind talking a little bit about them. Already, what came to mind to me is the sheet mask that you sent to the office. I'm sure it would feel so good to put both in the fridge, put the sheet mask on, and then use the tool. So if you don't mind just
Yeah.
talking a bit about the other products you have.
Yeah. So in addition, so we patented the applicator. We
Mhm.
also patented these. So I noticed I'm 6'1". Let's start there. So I've got some space to cover. And there wasn't really anything on the market that was designed for me and the challenges that I was going through. And like starting with my cleavage, I was starting to notice that things were starting to crease differently. And so I'm like trying to sleep on my back. And I'm just noticing these changes. And so we partnered with a company that owns the patent to this biocellulose material that we use in our masks. And their patent specifically targets deeper penetration. And we designed the mask, so specifically the chest and the neck. And so these are full coverage masks, and the chest mask is actually in the shape of a heart. It's a very large heart because it needed to fit me. And so it's for a décolleté you'll love, is what it says on the front. And it's a reminder of self-love. And I mean, I just love them. It's nice, thick material. So you can, it says 15 to 20 minutes. I've used them up to 3 hours. We have people that tell us they sleep with them. So you do you, but you get a lot of use out of them. And then the neck specifically. So it comes around behind the ears, under the chin, and it covers that neck. And whether we realize it or not, but there's also a lot of confidence that we lose in our neck and chest when we start to see that things are changing. So you start to see women wearing more, scarves and turtlenecks. And I love wearing a tank top and just feeling good about it. And so putting on these masks with the soluble collagen, the hyaluronic acid, the B5, it helps to calm the skin, it helps to plump, it helps to firm. They're great after post treatment. We've used them on some seriously ablated skin and no sting. They're so calm. They help with the repair process. And so we have estheticians that have we've created protocol that we give to our clients, and they give it to their clients to say after this procedure or after this treatment, use these masks in this fashion, and it helps with their repair time and their recovery. So yeah, they're amazing. So we have face, neck, and chest, and I love them. I love them. I think everybody needs to be feeding. I call it feeding your neck and chest. Everybody needs to be incorporating that if we want to age on our terms.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think actually the décolleté area is the area that shows the aging the most, and it's the area we
Yeah.
forget. I have clients that come in
Yeah.
for microneedling, and I will microneedle their neck complementary with their face because I know it's just as important. But even like I'll go down
Yeah.
even to like this area too, because this is always forgotten. Are these
Yeah.
masks good to use like post care for treatments like
Yeah.
microneedling?
100%. Yes. Yeah. Anything ablated, you can use these masks, and we design them very intentionally for that. And biocellulose, the material itself, started in wound care. And so that's originally where it started, to help repair and fix the skin. And there were such good results. They thought, well, what if we made sheet masks out of this? And so that's really where that all started. But I mean, our neck and our chest have such thin skin, and we all know we need to put SPF on our face. So we're probably pretty good about that most of the time. But we just go out there and just rock that neck and chest out in the sun, and the sun breaks down your collagen. So you might not see it in your 20s when you're out there on spring break, and you might not see it in the 30s when you're hanging by the pool with your margarita, but come 40, you're going to start to see the sun damage, the hyperpigmentation, the loss of elasticity because you are going through those hormonal changes and your body is already starting to deplete the estrogen, which is also contributing to that collagen loss. So there's a lot of magical things that happen in our 40s. And so it is so important for us to just continue to feed it with the ingredients that it needs so that it can, well, I don't want to look 20. I don't, but I want to feel confident in my own skin. So it's so important just throwing those things on, and you can still move around the house, like throw them on the plane, whatever, and just give yourself a little like zhuzh. But yes, definitely post treatment for sure.
Alrighty, so then moving on to trade shows. You
Yes.
mentioned to me that I think you said you doubled your numbers from last year was your first time
Did.
doing a trade show in Dallas and then this year as well. Do you mind? I
Yeah.
guess first let's talk about like what did you expect coming in before you even had your first trade show, and then how did it meet or exceed your expectations?
I have to say that I'm just in so much gratitude because there's so much competition that's out there just in the esthetician space. Now, Ada has very unique products, so there it really isn't competition for our products, but arguably. But I don't know. I guess I went in just hopeful, and optimistic and grateful. And I walked out year one, and um I was really impressed with just everyone that had come by. They were really great conversations. It's always good when you can cover the cost of your show plus your product plus so I felt really good about the way that year one went. Year two, I don't know. I mean, I guess I was hoping to have, the same, maybe a little bit better, and we more than doubled what we had done the year before. And first and foremost, just as someone who is newer into the space, I do think sometimes it takes time and recognition. So people, I remember seeing you last year, or oh, we had people come around, we saw you on Instagram or however that is, and that just takes time. It takes time to develop the relationships with people, their trust. I'm not the marketing expert, but I think people need to see you sometimes an average of 7 or 8 times before they make a purchase. And so there's this whole like algorithm that's built into that. But the people specifically at the International Congress of Aesthetics and Spa, it was 100% my target market. And this year, actually, we did a talk on regenerative skincare and just some different things you can do to keep up with your skin's health as you're aging. And so we really got into kind of the science behind all of that. And so, but you've got to put yourself out there. You got to keep showing up. And if you are in the esthetician space, if you support people that are in the treatment rooms, that are working with clients, whether it's a big spa or individual users, this is such a great market for it. So I've already signed up for 2026. Um, I will be there and looking at other shows in different cities as well. So been in Dallas thus far, but yeah, it's been great.
Yeah, I think many estheticians, I mean, I'm an esthetician myself, so when I go to trade shows, I am looking for like unique finds, and I'm also looking for things that are innovative so that I can be at like the forefront of the industry, right? And I feel like you have such a unique brand, unique products that they're very innovative. So I think that trade shows are just wonderful places to find things before everyone else does, and to
Yeah.
make those connections. And I always say, like, I like to look at the brands that are like not as well known because they have
Mhm.
the good stuff. Like they really do. They impress me so much. I mean, I work with a lot of smaller brands actually. I don't really I've been exposed to many of like the bigger brands throughout the years, but what I choose to have in my practice is always like the small, unique finds that I just fall in love with. Um, so
Yeah.
that's just from like my own perspective, I would say. But would you have any advice that you can give to brands who are preparing to exhibit at a skincare trade show for the first time?
I wouldn't get too into all the printing and the I've spent so much money on just trying to make sure that all of my banners and all of the things are so perfect and like don't I'm gonna have to change. It's like every show I'm like always elevating what that should look like. And I've spent a lot of money on all that. So I would focus, kind of less on getting too bogged down in how it's all gonna look, right? And just kind of keep it simple, and prepare yourself for the conversations that you're going to be having and make your table look nice, but don't get too wrapped up in the oh my gosh, is this going to be good enough? Because you're going to go there and you're going to learn and you're going to pivot and you're going to adjust and you just have to show up. And this is very uncomfortable for me. I am not into sales. I'm not into business development. This is not my area of love, but just show up and be passionate about your product. You are here for a reason and just bring that energy into what it is. And then, maybe this year you get to one spot and then next year it compounds. And that was my experience. And just come in just being very grateful to have people's time and attention because that's the best compliment that we can be given is just given time from people and they will give you time. People are very kind and if people don't want to come by and talk, that's okay. There's going to be like thousands and thousands of people that you'll be able to get in front of. So just get your talk down and use this as an opportunity to refine, your
Mhm.
your spiel.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say.
And I always tell exhibitors, like, ask questions as well, because this is your opportunity to be face to face with your customers, to really get to know them and what their needs are.
I learned so much by having these conversations. Like, this is a great way to apply your tattoo bomb. Who knew, right? This is a great tool if you are in the cosmetic tattooing space. You can apply the numbing cream while you're also calming the eyebrows down. Like, okay, this is an amazing massage tool. It helps the back. I invented this as a makeup tool, and it's only because I'm listening and I'm like a sponge. So somebody says something, and then I'm like, I just research it, like, because I mean, if you think about it, if this is helping preserve the bodies of massage therapists, how is that helping from, workers' comp? And how's that helping for carpal tunnel and, just the longevity of somebody? And so just listen, research, play that scenario forward and see where it takes you. We had more scenarios that came up this morning that I had never thought of, but you only know that by getting out there and asking people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, really good point.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
I feel like I got to know the brand a lot better. And you will be in Dallas next year for sure. So,
I
anyone
will.
listening to the podcast, where can they find you online and on Instagram?
Yeah, so it is Ada Cosmetics. That is atacosmetics.com. And I think it's Ada, dot cosmetics on Instagram. So that's where you'll find us.
Okay, I'll make sure to link that in the show notes. But I guess that's all for today. So thank you for joining me. And yeah.
Thank you.